Hello, Keith Rucker at VintageMachinery.org. Well, guys, we're going to start on a new little project this week, mainly because I keep hitting roadblocks with some of my other stuff. I'm kind of in waiting mode right now, waiting on some stuff to come in so I can finish some other things up. Story of my life here lately. But I've got this Kurt Vise down here that I really want to see what we can do with. And let me zoom in on this thing and kind of tell you the backstory on how I got this. So when we had our scraping class back in January, one of the people who was here for the week actually was helping Richard King do the instruction in the class. He's taken it multiple times. A gentleman named Edgar Wolfram. And Edgar lives down in the Panhandle of Florida, and I'll see him occasionally as he comes through the area up here because he's up in this area from time to time. But somewhere along the way, Edgar, I think the story goes, he bought a whole pallet of Kurt Vises at an auction. Got a really good deal on them, and he had more than he could use. So he was kind enough to drop one by and leave this one for me. He said, I don't know anything about it, haven't done anything with it, but if you want it, you can have it. I said, well, sure, I'll be glad to take it. When I got it here, he actually gave me one that's got it on the swivel base too. He said he only had a few of the swivel bases, but he gave me a swivel base, gave me the vise. And when I got down here and started playing with it, I quickly discovered a problem. And that is that when you turn the handle, you'll notice the vise isn't doing anything. So there's something going on with the screw and the nut in here. I don't know if it's broken, wore out, just not set up properly. I just don't know right now. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to take this vise apart. And I've never taken a Kurt Vise apart. Once we get it apart, it may not be in this episode, but I think we'll go ahead and get these things cleaned up, repainted, refurbished. We got a little bit of rust on here, what have you. But we're gonna get these things back in operating condition so that I can use them. I've never had a Kurt Vise before. I think highly of them. They're nice vices, and I'm anxious to have one that I can use in the shop. So anyway, let's tear into this thing and start tearing her down. So one thing I'll just comment right off the bat, this is the nut that the screw goes into. I'm pretty sure that screws in and out. I don't think it's supposed to be sticking out like this. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that all that is wrong with this thing is that whatever holds this nut in place has come loose and it's just worked its way out of the travel. We'll see. So anyway, let's tear into it. We'll start by removing the swivel base. So we got two bolts here on the side, and I need to grab a wrench and break those loose. I'd like to get that box in on there, but it's not going to fit, so we'll just have to come in here this way. And whoops. Yeah, they're tight. All right. All right, that broke that one loose. It swivels. I'm not sure how much we got of that last clip, but we got the swivel base off. I had some technical difficulties with my camera. If you didn't see that, if it doesn't come through, basically what we did was we just took the bolts out here. There's a pin in the middle that it swivels on, and it came apart. But now that we got these apart, next thing I'm gonna do is just continue tearing them down. I think I'm gonna start by taking off these jaws, and that's just using some Allen wrenches, and I'm going to assume that they're metric since the other parts on here are metric, and I'm assuming wrong. So let me grab this set. Here we go. That one is broke free. Good job. Now these Vise jaws here, they can mount on either side. So right now they're mounted on the outside so that you can grip something real wide. It would sit on the top of the vise here and you grip it from the outside and sandwich it in. Or you can put these on the inside and of course squeeze something narrow. So the last person to use this obviously was gripping something pretty thick. That's a nice feature of these Kurt Vises, and quite honestly, that's one of the main reasons that I really have been wanting one of these, so that I can decide where I want to put my jaws and have that extra capacity. Because even with the jaws holding closed, you got almost 5 or 6 inches in there, you know, to work with. And these jaws are not in terrible shape. We'll probably put them on the surface grinder and clean them up, but they look good. Let's take this other side off. All right. Next step here is I want to remove the fixed jaw down here. And this is bolted to the base. And when you flip this vise over on its bottom, there's 2 socket cap screws in here. So I'm just going to come in here with an Allen screw. I'm going to use a lead hammer here. Break those loose. All right, we'll get the other one broke loose and we'll get those screws out. Notice there's a little lock washer in here. All right, we got those out. So flip it back over. And that just come right off. Good deal. We got that fixed vise, our fixed jaw taken loose. So I want to show how this jaw was mounted on here. I've already got it pulled loose here, as you can see. Mine came pretty easy, but it's got these keys in the bottom, and these are actually milled into this block. Those are not keyways that are hammered in there or anything like that. They actually, on a CNC mill, actually milled these out around, and those fit down in the corresponding slots in the bottom, and that will hold the pressure as you tighten up and on it or whatever, and it really moving in any direction. So very nice way to key those in there. So guys, I'm having some technical difficulties with my camera, and I've had to change cameras, so there's probably going to be a change in audio, just letting you know. So back to this. We've got the end vise, or the fixed vise off, and now is the movable vise, or movable jaw. And some good news, I was playing around with this off camera, and I think what happened is that they took the jaws off the inside and put them on the outside, this jaw here can actually move in farther. And I think all that happened was that someone just ran that jaw in until it had run out of the screw. Playing around with it, you know, it's picking it up and it looks like it's moving. It's a little stiff, but as rusty as it is, it doesn't surprise me. So I feel a little bit better now. I think that we're going to be all right on the nut in there. I was worried we were going to have to replace that nut. But anyway, we're going to sit here and push that out. All right. Now that has that one off. So here's the removable jaw, or the sliding jaw, and it looks like there's a set screw in here that kind of cantilevers and holes. I imagine it hooks up underneath there. So let's see if we can unscrew that on the right Allen wrench here. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and back this one out. Probably will clean it and re-tap that hole or chase the threads in it. But you can see that just fits up in there. All right, that's the part. That's the part. The threads look really good in there, so I think we're going to be fine. I was really worried we were going to have to deal with that, but I think we're good. So I had to go do some research to kind of figure out how to get this thing apart. Most Kurt Vises just have a collar on here with a set screw, and you take that off and this whole part just comes in. This is a older model vise, and it has a little bit different setup. There's actually a retaining ring that goes around here that holds this piece in, and it's a spiral retaining ring. It's not like a typical snap ring that I'm familiar with. And I can order, they actually make a little rebuild kit for this vise. It's about 15 bucks from Kurt. It includes this clip along with some other consumable parts in here. So I'm not worried if I mess this thing up, but there's a little bitty piece right here that looks like, yeah, comes off, and I'm just going to see if I can get this out of there. Okay. There it comes. So you can see it's a kind of a little spiral piece, and like I said, I'm not worried about messing it up. We will replace it later. So now this screw should just, yeah, come right out. Whoop. Drop that little washer. It comes out, and there's a thrust bearing and some other O-ring in there to seal it up. Again, I can order all these new pieces, and I think that's what I'll do is I'll order all these and replace these parts on here, but that's off. And with that, we pretty well have our vise completely disassembled. Next on this, probably do it off camera, but we're going to take this over to the parts washer, get all the grease and grime off of it, and then I suspect from there it's going to end up going and soaking in some evaporust or something like that to get all this rust off, and we'll come back and clean it up and repaint it. Now, one thing that I'm going to go ahead and probably do is, you know, we got some little boo-boos in here. Someone milled into it right here, not very deep, and I also drilled a hole in here. I'm going to see if I can weld these up, and we'll just remill all this stuff and maybe even grind it in afterwards to get it back down, but I just don't like that. And over here on the solid, the fixed jaw, again, there's a little boo-boo here on the end. I think, again, we're just going to get that welded up. I'm actually going to be going down to Florida tomorrow. I'm going to see Jim Bollinger, who's a pretty dang good welding guy and YouTube creator. So I may do a little collaboration with Jim and see if I can get him to weld these up for me. And he's got some nice TIG equipment and some other stuff that I just don't have access to. And so anyway, we'll probably do that little collaboration video with Jim, and then get back here in the future video, and we'll reassemble and put all the stuff together. Well, that's going to be a wrap for this video, guys. I appreciate you coming in and watching this quick disassembly video on a Kurt Vise. And we'll be restoring this in a future video, so be on the lookout for that as well. Thanks for watching.